Hi, my name is Megan, and my struggle with addiction began in high school. I thought throughout high school I was drinking like a normal high school student, but I wasn't. I was drinking on school nights. It got in the way of sports that I played, my grades, my attendance. My loved ones and my friends didn't necessarily they didn't know that something was going on.
If teens are acting differently in any way, most notably if they're isolating more, or if their friend group changes, if they're not as motivated as they used to be, or if they lose interest in activities they used to like without replacing them with new interests, a lot of those are signs of substance use, as well as academic performance usually takes a hit in that as well. Our brains aren't fully developed till 25. So while their brain is still developing, the impacts that substances have in the brain are a lot more permanent and damaging than for an adult who has a more stable mind.
Prior to using, I was a good person. And then I started doing a lot of things that weren't in line with my morals and values. They weren't in line with the person that I was growing up. And that was kind of that big, okay, something's going on, there's a red flag. So the first time I went to treatment, I still was kind of unsure. I was well, I think maybe I just fell into bad behaviors. Here's everybody else talking about how, they're homeless or they just got out of jail or this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting here well, I still live at home with mom. And you know what I mean? So it looked different, and it made it a little bit easier to kind of put that separation in there and tell myself that okay, I'm not as bad.
Teens, they thrive a lot on their social image and how they look to each other. So when that stigma is put there, it may be a deterrent for getting treatment and having to admit that.
It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of me thinking that I could do it on my own, and I had all of the answers and I had all the knowledge. And I had to get to the point where it was okay, I don't know anything. I need to take suggestions. I need to listen to people that have, done it before me.
Things like certified peer supports are great. These are individuals who have struggled in the past with mental health or substance use themselves, and now they're in a professional role where they help kids or adults with building supports, with learning coping skills while using their own experience. So it makes it a very relatable process.
For me, what kind of became a barrier because I was so young was thinking I was gonna miss out on things in life. What if I get married one day and I can't drink at my own wedding, and stuff like that, or going to the bars and partying with my friends. And what I've had to realize, and what I've I have so much fun in recovery. There's tons of other young people in recovery. All of my friends, they're sober and they're around my age. Some are younger, some are a little bit older, but we have just as much fun as everybody else, and we remember it. So it's just, again, a lot of it comes down to the fear of the unknown. So what normal kids are doing, and what we see around us is they're going out and they're partying or they're drinking here and there, but the difference is we can't do that successfully.
I don't think it's common for teens to walk in and get the help they need themselves. I think it takes support and encouragement from the other people in their lives, from supportive parents or other role models that can say to them, this is a problem we see and we want to get you the help that you need. It's oftentimes difficult for kids to realize that the behaviors they're engaging in are detrimental. So if you find that you need support or have concerns about substance use, there's several agencies around the area that you can go to for help. Some of those might be COCA, which is the Council on Chemical Abuse, or SAM, which is Service Access Management. They're great for connecting you with the resources you need to get the treatment that you need and helping figure out all the pieces along the way.
Addiction shouldn't define anyone. Support helps. Stigma hurts. Take the first step in breaking through the stigma of addiction at sosberks.com/addiction. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.